Where we celebrate 200 races in the Formula 2 Championship, and we kick proceedings off with the sprint race yesterday. Victor Martins in the wars at the first corner in his brand new Williams colours as we hit a safety car late on. Some gambled for a pit stop to put the fresh tyres on. One driver who didn't was Pepe Marti, and like he did last year, he came from 11th to the podium. This time though, it was the top step of
199 races ago, an agreement was reached by GP2 and the FIA to rebrand the series to Formula 2. This completed their goal of making a complete ladder to Formula 1. This was shown in the first season after Leclerc and Sergei Sorokin navigated their way through to the pinnacle, and they were later joined by 19 other talented drivers over the years. And while we've been looking for the stars of the future, we've been treated to fantastic motor racing along the way. Yesterday was a true reminder that this series has meant more than just trying to watch the stars of the future. It was absolutely phenomenal yesterday, and now it is time to do so once again. As we reach race 200, it's time to watch and enjoy as the next generation elevate themselves through the ranks in century number 2 in Formula 2. And it's such a great atmosphere here at Bahrain International, and that's exactly where we are going to hold our opening feature contest of the year. We cannot wait to bring you this amazing contest. In the commentary box, my name is Omi, delighted to be with you, and the man starting in second is Victor Martins. Alongside him on pole is Leonardo Fornaroli, but in the commentary box we've got Tom Cairns. Hi Tom.
Hello Omi, hello to everyone. Yes, Leo Fornaroli in his third race weekend of Formula 2, because he did the last run of last year as well. He is on pole position, 2 championship points coming in the way as a consequence, and Victor Martin alongside the man in his third season in this championship. He needs to have a strong season if he is to have a shout of being in Formula 1 very, very soon. But yes, 200 Formula 2 races once this one is completed, where it all began 8 years ago, taking over from what was the GP2 series back in 2017. And the series has continued to go from strength to strength, and there's going to be a whole lot more to come as far as this series is concerned.
We appreciate all of the work that everyone's done, and it's great to see 21 stars all navigate their way through to Formula 1. We're looking to add more, and as I mentioned in my intro, sit back and enjoy as the next generation try and forge their way through. We've got some very talented drivers, as we saw in FIA Formula 3. And they're all trying to get to this level, Formula 2. And we've even got stars which are linked to Formula 1 seats like Arvid Lindblad. This is the final stepping stone between the drivers and getting to Formula 1. And we've seen some brilliant racing along the way, as I mentioned, around this circuit. Yesterday was a brilliant example of it, where we had some fantastic action all the way to the checkered flag. Loads regarding it as some of the best F2 action we've had definitely in a couple of years as well. So it's definitely quite a lot of action going on right at the end with the safety car, and it was phenomenal to watch and to see Pepe Marti go from 11th on the grid all the way to the checkered flag first. Also joining us in the commentary box is Jack. Hi Jack, we're getting all set and ready to go racing for the F2 feature race. It's our opening feature race of the year due to the cancellation in Melbourne.
Yes, absolutely. It's good to actually get a feature race this time out. I intended to watch the first feature race this year, and then it didn't end up happening because somehow we got rain in Australia, something I never thought I'd see. Thankfully, we're in the middle of the desert this time out, so I don't think we'll be getting too much rain today. As you can see, obviously, we have the Invicta on pole. I'm looking forward to seeing what these Formula 2 cars and drivers can do. Should be a very, very exciting race. The Formula 3 race was brilliant earlier, and I'm looking for more of the same from Formula 2.
Yeah, and this was the series that delivered phenomenal action yesterday as well, and we're looking forward to seeing what they get on with today. So, some cars slow leaving the line as we go on to our formation lap, and as we get down to turn number 1, Tom, it's going to be interesting to see how they get off the line. Yesterday, Dirksen was able to maintain the lead, but you got Victor Martins, who is alongside Leonardo Fornaroli, a driver who will be trying to nail the start today.
Absolutely. And now that you've mentioned Dirksen, there was a post-race investigation for a technical infringement involving him. As a consequence, his podium position was taken away. He was disqualified from the sprint race. A body blow, which promoted drivers up into the points, including pole sitter Leo Fornaroli, who took away point interviews.
So yeah, I think I'll get stronger and stronger, considering it's my first full season and my first time arriving at these circuits. I just want to collect points early on, and then hopefully that puts me in a good place towards the end of the year.
For sure, there will be key moments in the race that I will be using my experience, and I think mentally on the on the emotion side will be important to stay calm, because it's going to be a long race. Also, seeing which driver is going with which compound, I think there will be a mixed for sure. So let's see, but it's going to be fun to watch and fun to drive.
I don't have pressure. Like I did last year, I will just try to do my best. We saw that the pace in race simulation was strong in the test. So yeah, I will give my best and try to score as many points as possible, and I win if it will be possible.
Quite a lot to contend with for him on debut now. I think Form have had some issues with the starting grid, so they haven't been able to talk you through that. So I'm just going to take you through it. We start at the back with Shields, who's alongside Henry Cordial, who starts in 21st. Maney is in 20th, alongside Ritomo Miata. Montoya is in 18th, alongside Esterson. And then it's Lindblad in 16th, alongside fellow Red Bull Jr. Oliver Goethe. Crawford goes from 14th for Dams, and then it's Bennett in 13th. Mini is in 12th. Pepe Marti, our winner from yesterday, in 11th. Dirksen in 10th, and then it's Beganovic in 9th, Villagomez in 8th, Megitunif in 7th, Richard Vishaw goes from 6th, Stanek is in 5th, and then it's Dunn in 4th, Browning in 3rd, Victor Martins in 2nd, and reigning F3 champion Leonardo Fornaroli is on pole position as they come to the line, Tom.
Absolutely. I'm just looking to get more on Dirksen's disqualification yesterday as to why that is, but I'm probably going to run out of time to do that. So we'll just focus on the start for now as we get this first feature race of Formula 2 of the season underway.
So they're just slotting themselves into position, and this is going to be really, really fascinating to watch then, as we have the track temperature at 44.3 degrees, air temperature is at 30 exactly, and Richard Vishaw on the podium yesterday with 2nd. Let's see whether he can try go on the attack from what will be 6th position. We are getting ready for race 200 in the FIA Formula 2 Championship. It's been a long journey. It's time to get another century underway. We're going to put the green flag at the back, and race 200 in FIA Formula 2 is about to begin. 3, 4, 5 red lights. And the opening feature race of the year is go! Race 200 will be led by Leonardo Fornaroli down towards the first corner, as he's got the start that he needs to maintain the lead. Stanek is making it, and then Victor 1-2 is he's going to go around the outside. It wasn't the start that Victor Martins needed. He has dropped down, and he's dropped massively behind so many of our contenders. He's side by side with Luke Browning at this stage. Fornaroli then Dunn up to 2nd place. Fornaroli is going to be looking to try to stay ahead and bring his teammate for company as well, as Stanek tries to go for the move, and he's also having to defend from Villagomez. We're 4 wide as we make our way through turn number 4. It's getting super tight in the background as well, and you've got the Red Bull Jr. of Pepe Marti trying to get involved in the mix, as Villagomez still goes side by side with Roman Stanek, and Villagomez gets ahead.
Martin getting swamped at the start. In contrast, Fornaroli was able to pull away, and what a great start also from his teammate Roman Stanek, getting up into 4th position, whilst all the rest of the field just fighting for track position, getting the jobs done there into turn number 4. We had like 4 abreast in 2 separate battles. Incredible stuff. And now they're just looking to settle into the race now. It's amazing. We've not had any collisions so far, but it seems to be that the driving standards are remaining intact within this field.
It is super tight. Crawford trying to make a move further back. Mini's trying to put the pressure on John Bennett. Ritoma Miata is getting past as well. He is getting past Max Esterson there in the Trident as we go through turn number 12. A part of the circuit which we had so much action in yesterday. And today we are looking to see more of the same. Brilliant exit there coming in from Jack Crawford. He's going to be going on the attack and he's going to be trying to get past Joshua Dirksen. It'll be a drag race down to the final corner on this circuit. Will Crawford be able to get ahead? Close under braking, but the American driver gets by, and that was very nearly into the back. Also coming in under braking as we saw Luke Browning also going very late on the brakes, very nearly hitting the back.
Yeah, so Ford and Rowley cycle into the race now, and there we see the McLaren livery of Alex Dunn. Well, not Alex Dunn. Yeah, it is Alex Dunn in second place. It's Rafael Villagomez in third, doing a fine job so far. Great start from Villagomez, it has to be said. Having a much better weekend than expected. But there we can just see the other Van Amersfoort of John Bennett going toe-to-toe with Gabriele Mini through turn number 2. Further up ahead, though, we just see Josh Dirksen ahead fighting the dams of Jack Crawford for 8th place. But there we see the Alpine livery of Gabriele Mini fighting it out with John Bennett. And there we see Sebastian Montoya on the move.
Montoya trying to fight her way by as well, and that's up against his Prema teammate. Nothing between the two Premas at this stage. Sebastian Montoya is going to dive to the inside. These two who went side by side in Australia, going side by side at Bahrain International, and Mini will be ahead as he tries and continues to put the pressure on John Bennett. Well, quite an action-packed start, and it could continue as Mini tries to get past Bennett into turn number 10, but it's probably best if they go single file, Jack.
Yeah, I know. Chaotic start there. How there were no collisions, I have no idea. As we see, is that Miney going up the inside of... I'm not quite sure who that is, to be honest, in the Alpine car. So I imagine that might be Martin's, but I'm not sure.
So we've got Mini, who is in the mix as well in the Alpine liveried car, who's got overtaken by Sebastian Montoya. So the two Premas very close together in 15th and 16th position as we arrive down to the final corner. Fornaroli, Dunn and Villagomez is our top 3 at this stage. Richard Verschoor is trying to get past, and he's trying to make the move on Arvid Lindblad there, who's the driver who has possession of 12th position. As we come across the line, once again, 1.3 seconds in it, out front between our top 2, who is going to be going for some moves. But yes, a terrible start for Victor Martins as we take a look further back to see whether anyone can make any dive bombs on the brakes. It looks like single file for most of them into the braking zone, but it's going to be Esterson who is going to be trying to get in the mix with Shields, and that'll open the door for Kushmani to turn the outside of 1 to the inside of 2 and into the next position, which will be 20th. And we also see Cordeal now trying to get involved. This is for the last positions on the road. Cordeal's going to make it 3 wide at a corner which we've had contact before in Formula 2. Esterson backs out of it. He's going to try and get the up and under on Cordeal, who has to back out of it due to Kushmani's car that was directly there. And now the inside for Esterson, and that is how that order is resolved, with Maney just ahead as well in the battle. Back to the start we go, Tom.
Yeah, so this is, we're going to go a replay to see how Marcel got. He's almost like he's got some wheel spin as he lifted the throttle, but he's just allowed the likes of Stanek, Dunn and co to just completely go around him before they even get to the braking zone. So a terrible start for Victor Martin, but a timely getaway from Dunn to get himself up into second place. And despite the fact that we had 4 wide into turn 4, we're just going to see how that played out. We've got away from that, but this is Richard Verschoor. He also had a dreadful start from 6th on the grid, getting swamped by the likes of Dirksen, by the Red Bull livery driver on the inside, on the left-hand side as well. But yeah, not a good start there for the Dutchman. He has some work to do from here. But what's worth mentioning is some drivers are on the soft compound, others are on the hard. So that could well explain why some got better start or better launch compared to others.
Yeah, so we have differing tire strategies, but you had quite a few drivers, as we mentioned, changing positions, and loads of drivers dropping down. We have a 4 wide as well going into turn number 4. That was super tight, and that's Crawford who was able to get past on Verschoor as well, and it was a very tight, interesting opening lap. Alex Dunn ended in second. This is how it was, past both Williams Academy drivers who did not get the launch, and then all he had to do was deal with Roman Stanek, who was to the left-hand side.
Yeah, Stanek made a tremendous start. I don't know how he managed to do it, but that was super by his standards. But done from 4th place up to 2nd. Nicely done so far. the mandatory pit stops will begin from around about lap 6. If you do it before, it will not count as your mandatory pit stop. But those who are on the soft compound want to try and go as far as go. Mini team radio.
Later in the race.
So we were able to catch the end of that. Apologies if you weren't with us in the Formula 3 race. We don't have track audio, unfortunately, and as we're doing it through Discord, we can't press the team radios within a button. We have to go through a couple of clicks on the Discord, as we have JT providing the TV pictures, which we thank him for. But he is outside enjoying a bit of the racing going on in the real world, which is local to him. 1.1 second is the gap. Villagomez has got the fastest lap at this stage, and we mentioned this yesterday, Tom. Villagomez in the early stages was a driver who was really impressing. He was really looking to attack early on, but those tyres were starting to fade away for him near the end.
Yes, it absolutely did, and it cost him any hope of a podium finish, unfortunately, for Rafael Villagomez, but he's got another chance of it today so far. Now, looking to see who made up positions from the start, because I know, obviously, Forneroni's kept hold of his position. Alex Dunn is up 2 positions from his starting spot, but 2 drivers we know for certain have made dreadful getaways are Martin and For Sure. This is a replay, then, we're going to see at turn 13. I think someone was going for an over. This is Sebastian Montoya on John Bennett. Now, does John Bennett hold on to the position while he's going into the runoff area? So I highly doubt he'll be able to keep hold of that. But Bennett is passed by Montoya on this occasion. And so he is down to 16th position because Gabriele Mini is also ahead of him. Now, you can just see on the timing tower that we've got the top 8 on the soft compound as well as Montoya. So we expect them be in the pits within the next few laps, which means that Luke Browning, who's the highest of all the hard compound runners, also very briefly, because Dirkson's back ahead of him now, but Browning's resisting. So we could see a battle for the lead for a period of the race before we see the hard compound runners. There goes what looked like Victor Martin on Roman Stanek.
Late lunge from Victor Martins. He knows he has to go on the attack, and he absolutely did with a late lunge to get ahead of the Invicta driver. So Stanek finds himself down to 6th. Up goes the Frenchman Victor Martins to 5th position. Alex Stern is now inside the 1 second. He's 7/10 away from Leonardo Fornaroli as one Invicta goes backwards. One tries to remain at the front, and now you've got Sami Megatunov, who's also impressing this weekend, as he now will be the next one to try and drop Stanek down another place.
Absolutely brilliant stuff from Victor Martin. Megatunov, as you mentioned, having a decent weekend so far, but there's a big gap actually between Crawford and Browning, which is no surprise, but they will have to endure another lap before they all start pitting in. But you want to take the soft tyres as far as you can so that you get on better tyres on the hards for later on in the event when the fuel does burn down. Dunn is within a second of Forneroni, so is he thinking about an overtake, or is he thinking about the long game? We know how aggressive we saw from him yesterday, did Alex Dunn, hence why he picked up a couple of post-race penalties, but how has he learned from that? Is he going to try and play the long game this time? We shall see. But you can see the top 8 all on the soft camera just settling in. I think they know that they have to go into tyre management mode before they can even think about pulling off some overtakes. Villa Gomez is under threat from Pepe Marti.
He is indeed. You've got Pepe Marti closing in, going for a late lunge. That was a late lunge, and that was a late move to get there. Villagomez, though, is going to do the switchback, get the power down. Can he retake the position? Can he retake third? He will. And, well, I mentioned it was late, but it was also very late on his side as well, as it was all of a sudden selling the dummy, quite literally, into the braking zone. You've got Martins now closing in on that battle, but definitely not what we were expecting, as he was tucking in all the way till the last possible second that he could pull out and try and make that move.
Yeah, it was nicely done from Marti, although Villa Gomez was able to somehow get back on the inside, and hopefully we'll see more of that to come. Fon really reporting these front tyres are starting to drop away a bit. Doesn't mean he's coming at the end of this lap. It is lap 6, but it goes back to what I was saying. You want to go as far as you can, ideally at the end of lap 8 or lap 9 or something like that, before you switch over onto the hard tyres, so they can get all the benefit before they start falling away. Now, some drivers yesterday did pit in during the last safety car period to put on some tyres, so they'll be thinking about what they want to do with some of their sets, because they are allocated to 5 sets of dry tyres for the race weekend, 3 of them being the hard and 2 being the soft, or the softer compound, whichever compounds that Pirelli bring in for Formula 2 each race weekend. But it is the soft and the hards here in Bahrain, and Dunn within range to potentially attack on the reigning Formula 3 champion.
Here comes the Irishman down the straight. Is this the moment for Alex Dern to pull out of the slipstream and take the lead of the feature race? It's getting super tight further back. Pepe Marti selling the dummy, and Pepe Marti taking the position as we see Alex Dern take the lead, but Pepe Marti does get ahead of Villa Gomez. Now, here's the chance for Victor Martins as well. What a moment it is for Ireland to see their man at the top of the table. We're going to go side by side towards turn number 4. Martins trying to get past Villa Gomez, who drops down 2 positions on lap number 7.
Very nicely done from Alex. And Fona really didn't fight it, but Pepe Martin looked like he had to fight it out more with Villa Gomez. He's lost 2 positions in the space of a few corners. But we are getting to the phase now where drivers are starting to think about pit stops, the soft runners anyway. Luke Brennan, we expect to take over the lead for the time being. And yeah, that was very nicely done there for Alex. So we're going to see a replay from the Irishman on the inside. And yeah, as goes back to saying about Fornarelli not fighting it, leaving the inside open for Dunn to go through. And yeah, it's easier said than done. So we have an Irishman leading a Formula 2 race for the first time.
Absolutely, he's also trying to win for the first time on a Formula 1 weekend. He wasn't able to win in Formula 3, and of course he's the driver that managed to get himself 2 podiums, however, not a win, but 2 podiums for him. This was Arvid Lindblad seeing Sebastian Montoya, who's really making overtakes today. Is he going to turn the outside back to the inside? He is, and he's going to take the position. Lindblad, though, is going to try set it up and try repass into turn number 4. Wasn't able to do so. But yes, Alex Dern chasing his first podium and win in what is his second weekend in the FIA Formula 2 Championship. He finished 12th and 9th last year for the sprint and the feature race. So it'll be interesting to see how he gets on today. He'll be hoping to take it all the way to the top step of the podium. Alex Dern on the radio saying we need another 10 laps or so. So he is going to be going long.
Very, very long. A lot longer than I thought it would be. Alex Dunn, and yeah, so he's got to get on with it now and try and pull away from Fornarelli so he's not having to battle out with him once Fornarelli is in DRS range. But yeah, this is going to come down to who can take the tyres as long as they can. We are seeing a battle going on further behind involving what looks like Dirksen and Bogdanovic. For sure is right behind those two as well, so we could well see a battle raging in the near future. And there's another high camera angle there to show the cars going through turns 6 and 7. Very nicely done there from Formula 1 with the way they've set up their camera work for this weekend around Bahrain, all of which they've known too well since Formula 1 first came here in 2004.
Oliver Goethe moves up to 16th position. He gets ahead of John Bennett, the driver who made his debut at the back end of last year after finishing as the runner-up in the GB3 Championship. That was to Formula 3 driver Louis Sharp. We're taking a look to see whether Jack Crawford can fight away to on Sami Megatunov. Those are the 2 drivers that are in 7th and 8th position as it stands. Dern has got the gap to 1 second. Victor Martins all still in range of Pepe Marti. But yes, everyone at the top at least taking it nice and easy at this stage as they need to get their tyres running longer and longer. We're on board with Dino Bogdanovic, who, Jack, you mentioned, of course, was able to get both of his podiums. The one in Abu Dhabi 1 year ago due to the disqualification for Aaron, and then also the disqualification for Dirksen that came in. He was also able to capitalise from that yesterday to get his second podium.
I bet he wishes that he could have a normal podium.
He wants to celebrate it, doesn't he?
Spray the jam. He wants to actually spray the champagne or something. He's a very talented racer, obviously. But man, getting your podium in that way, I don't know if it would feel good or not, to be honest. But I have got some detail on the disqualification of Dirksen. It is in regards to the diffuser strake 1. It was, I'm told, 2 millimeters lower than it is supposed to be. Therefore, a breach of technical regulations, and the team didn't even try to fight it, so disqualified. Very unfortunate for Dirksen.
Yeah, those things are usually quite straightforward. So Crawford getting past Megatunov that time around. Vashur and Bogdanovic were battling. You've got Montoya, of course, on the same strategy as the lead group. So that's why we're seeing him carve his way through the field quite a bit. So he does need to get on with it, because if we look at the gaps, they are really starting to form. And he's in that train, a train that he doesn't want to be in, Tom.
No, I'm almost in the turbulent air of the car in front. So they don't want to be stuck behind too much, because that's just taking life out of the front tyres, especially for the likes of Dirksen and co, or the likes of Bogdanovic for sure and all that. Montoya who's the only driver outside the top 8 on the soft compound. He'll want to try and get as far as he can before he pits in. He may even try do an undercut on some of these soft runners if he fancies it, but that'll leave him on less grippy tyres than when he comes back out. Those are on the hard compound. They're gambling on a safety car. Hence why they've decided to go for the alternate strategy compared to these soft compound runners. And if they do end up on the soft compound for when the safety car does come out, that's going to give them an enormous advantage on the restart, and which could end up having a massive, massive effect on how the ultimate race result plays out today.
It will indeed. To the final corner we go. You can see Montoya, if you are synced up with us with the TV pictures on your side. And Montoya, let's see whether he can try and get past Richard Verschoor. That is the car that's directly ahead of him, the driver who finished second in the contest yesterday. We're going to look to Beganovic, though, trying to put the pressure on Joshua Dirksen. We were just talking about his disqualification that he found himself in after getting the podium. We're side by side, and that's Roman Stanek with a nice and easy pass on Rafael Villagomez.
Easier said than done. Nicely done from Roman Stanek up into 5th place with the DRS Open, and now you can just focus on catching up to his next man, which is Victor Martin, who's still stuck behind Pepe Marta, yesterday's race winner, and we are seeing a move from Dino Beganovic on Josh Dirksen.
Side by side between these two drivers, both on the same strategy, both fighting for the same piece of tarmac, and we have Dirksen, who stays ahead. Verschoor wants to get involved as well. He was at this part of the circuit yesterday trying to improve places. Right now, though, Beganovic going from the attack to the defence, and will the defence be successful? It looks like at this stage he is. It will. Verschoor's going to be out wide. That could open the door for Sebastian Montoya to try and get the power down. Verschoor's going to get a good exit after the wide berth that he had out of turn number 10. Now towards turn number 11. Can the Dutch driver fight away by? He's forced the defensive shape from Dino Beganovic. Could it be the cutback, and could he do the move? A brilliant move that he did yesterday at turn number 12. He won't get close enough this time around.
No, definitely not. Montoya holding on for now ahead of Lindblad for 13th. And we're on lap 10 at the moment. Alex Dunn coming around to complete lap 10. No one thinking about pit stops just yet, which is quite surprising to me, actually, because of the hot temperatures around Bahrain and the abrasive surface of this track. Dunn doing a fine job, not only pulling away, but actually managing the tyres as far as we speak. I think they've probably learned in the past from other drivers in Formula 2 that you want to take the tyres as far as you can before you start putting on the hards, because the hards can very much fall away. We've got a pit stop going on. We'll find out to see who
Bennett.
that is. John Bennett that's in. So he's the first in for a change of tyres.
Absolutely. So John Bennett comes in as Montoya defends from Arvid Lindblad. We cut back to the battle between Villagomez and Roman Stanek, which has Jack Crawford and Megatuni for the back of the train as well. Okay, yes. So we've got a pit stop now. It's John Bennett who has come in to make his pit stop, as we now take a look at a replay, and that was Villagomez and Stanek.
Yeah, so Stanek on the outside with the DRS Open. I think there was only going to be one winner once he got his nose ahead. The exit of turn 3, Villagomez not fighting it, and this is a replay of the battle between Beganovic and Verschoor at turn 8. Beganovic was always going to have the inside, despite how bumpy it is on entry to turn 10, and Verschoor sensibly just backing out of it. Otherwise, the two would have made contact, and Montoya would have gotten past the pair of them.
Yeah, you do not want to be making contact this early in the feature race. There will be plenty of opportunities. We're always at risk of getting a safety car in this type of contest. We're taking a look at America's Jack Crawford driving for Dams Lucasol, able to pick up a win last year at Barcelona in the feature race. It was a brilliant performance by him there as well. The year prior with High Tech, he was able to pick up a win in the sprint race at the Red Bull Ring at Austria. So he's a driver, a very fast driver, not able to always get himself to the top step of the podium, but definitely a rapid driver who hasn't always had it go his way, as we are currently moving on to lap number 12 with your race leader, that is Alex Dunn, as we still follow this battle closely. But yes, John Bennett, the only driver who has made a pit stop so far in this contest.
And you also need a couple of laps to get the new tyres up to temperature before you start hammering it down. So we've got one of the Alpine livery drivers into the pit. I think that must be Gabriele Mini, who is then, he's on the hard compound tyres actually, is Mini. So he's going on to the softs very, very early.
He is indeed. So that will be the same thing, of course, as we make our way through. So yeah, that's very, very early coming in there, as we still follow a battle that was getting super tight to the opening couple of corners between Stanek and Villa Gomez. And we're going to see Vashor also in the mix right now. This is further back down the order. Vashor just ahead of Dino Beganovic. That's been a battle that's been going on for a while. And this is how Richard Vashor got ahead of the Swedish driver into turn number 1.
Yeah, I think Beganovic has learned that battling with Vashor is not the most sensible thing to be doing, because not only would he lose time battling with him, but also taking life out of those tyres. So I think he knew that just allowing Vashor to go is the more tactical way to go about it. But this is Roman Stanek, who's got Villa Gomez, Crawford, and, well, Megatunum is a little bit further back, but not too far back, is the Trident driver who's had a good weekend so far. A lock-up from Stanek into turn 11.
Lock-ups do not do your tyres any good. You can see we're slightly offline as well, as he tried to get back to the correct part of the circuit when we got down to turn number 12. Fornaroli is just right now settling in, and he'll be looking to try fight back later on, keeping care of his tyres. These drivers definitely taking it longer, and it's Tom, it's something different, Tom, of course, than what we usually see around the circuit with how bad the tyres are. We usually see them pitting nice and early in a feature race. They're having to take it a little bit more longer. But talking about that, into the pit lane comes the French driver Victor Martins, who's going to try and bolt himself slightly forward with an undercut.
Yeah, so Mini and Bennett have gone from the hards to the softs at this stage, whereas Martin is the opposite and in a better position in regards to size. There goes Villa Gomez on Stanek, who leaves him an enormous amount of space on the inside. Now, is there going to be a side-by-side battle between these two on the exit of turn number 3? We're going to find out in a moment. Watch out for Jack Crawford as well. Vashor, Beganovic and Montoya are also in the pits, but we'll stay with this battle as Crawford looks to the outside of Villa Gomez and Stanek. Can he make it 2 in 1 go? No, it's just Villa Gomez for the time being, but nicely done by Jack Crawford.
Would have been extraordinary if he was able to get 2 drivers for the price of 1 in 1 corner. So we also had into the pit lane Montoya come in, Beganovic come in, Vashor also came in as well. They're all exiting the pit lane. In comparison, Gabriele Mini is going to be coming down. Where's he going to be in comparison? So he'll be ahead of his teammate, and Beganovic will not have his tyres fired up to temperature, and that should mean that Mini on the run to turn number 4 is able to get by. Also, Bennett should be able to get past Sebastian Montoya. Let's see whether that's the case. As we go towards turn number 4, Mini's got his tyres warmed up. In the background as well, we see Montoya trying to defend from Bennett as Crawford gets ahead of Stanek. But around the outside, we do see Mini go to get ahead of Beganovic, and further back, also Bennett was able to get past Montoya. So as expected, the drivers who've been able to get their tyres up to temperature are pushing on now. Stanek's coming into the pit lane, but no tyre blankets, of course, in Formula 2, meaning a lot of hard work is needed when they do come out back onto the circuit.
Which alludes to the fact that you need a couple of laps to get those tyres up into the optimal window. Martin pitted to go from the softs to the hards, hence why I think Stanek is pitting to either cover off that or complete an undercut on those who have yet to stop, i.e. Dunn, Fornaroli, Marty and co. So we're going to see a pit stop over at the Invicta Pro. There are 7 mechanics on the car, 1 of which on each tyre. And we've got the front jetman, the rear jetman, and someone else working on the car as well. But we're going to see pictures of that as the race goes on. Browning and Dirksen are also in the pits along with Goethe.
More and more pit stops come in. So Stanek, Browning, Dirksen, Goethe and Maney, as you mentioned, are the drivers which you can see highlighted in red on our leaderboard that we've got available to you. As we see rejoining Dirksen, and he's just going to be ahead as well of Miney coming in with that one as they all go back out onto the fast lane, and then you're going to get the whole field coming towards turn number 1. Once again then, it's going to be Vashor, and then it'll be Mini, and they'll all be battling amongst themselves. So we're going to see Dirksen and Goethe, who are going to drop in behind on the entire group, and then they'll just slot in and now warm up their tyres.
Yeah. Well, at least they've allowed those to go, so they're not fighting with them. Dirksen getting on with it. It looks a little tardy, the pit stop that Dirksen had on the right rear. We may be able to get a replay of that very shortly. But Dirksen back out in 20th position. He is behind some of those that have pitted, but at least he was able to take his tyres further. I want to see what compound of tyre is on is Dirksen, because I think he may well have been on the hard compound before he pitted in for the softs. Now, the thing is with the soft compound, you can get a scrub set. I think there might have been a scrub set of softs from what he used in qualifying yesterday, which always helps with the grip, but that would mean you would lose like a lap or so of of grip that you need in the long term. And Dunn has been instructed to stay out from his crew, which is very, very interesting. They want to meet the target lap time, before he pits in.
Yeah. So Victor Martins gets ahead of Max Esterson. Into the braking zone we go with Gabriele Mini, who is in front of Dino Beganovic. Jack, what are you making? What are you making in terms of this race at this stage? What's your thoughts so far as we wait for it to get interesting with the strategy?
Yeah, exactly. And that's what is exciting about a Formula 2 feature race. You get this level of strategy that you do not see. As you can see, a slow stop here for Dirksen. It was on the rear right tyre. They weren't able to get on as quickly. But as I've said a few times now, I think the strategy in Formula 2 just makes it so much, not more interesting than Formula 3, but definitely interesting in a different way. Because whoever's leading at the start, you might have Alex Dunn leading right now, but maybe near the end you could have Arvid Lindblad in the lead because he's pulled off the strategy a bit better. It just makes the racing so much more interesting than just your average lights to flag.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to have, of course, a little bit of a difference, and it, of course, prepares the drivers in terms of making sure that they're ready before they have to start integrating a lot of this when it comes to Formula 1 as well. And in a lot of their junior racing, they don't make pit stops. It's when they arrive at this level is when they get to experience that, coming into the pit lane, making a pit stop, and then also having to deal with the ins and outs of that as well when it comes to having to get the tyres warmed up and all of the different challenges that come with that. And this category, as we mentioned, as we reach race 200, it is allowed so much. Fornaroli's going to come in. It's allowed so much for the drivers, and we were talking about it earlier on in the weekend as well about how this series has combined after we had GP2 and all of the other series that were running. It's all became one, and it's allowed reverse grids. It's allowed everything to see every single aspect of a driver. Back to the race though, which has Fornaroli and Pepe Marti in, as we mentioned.
Yeah, Via Gomez is also in. They're all going on to the hard compounds, those lots. So Fornaroli needing a good pit stop out of the Invicta crew, which he does so. No delays on any of the tyres. The same for Lindblad as he exits his box. It's down to Dunn then. How far is he able to take the soft compound? He was around about 5 seconds ahead of Fornaroli before Fornaroli came in. It's down to whether Dunn is going to react to that, because it goes back to what I was saying about the fact you need a couple of laps to get those tyres up to temperature. Fornaroli rejoins in some good track position, which is going to favour him for later on, as we see Stanek going into battle with Vachon. This is for position for later on.
This is vital, and it's going to be getting the power down for Richard Vachon, and that will be the place gained. Alex Dern is going to come into the pit lane at the end of this lap, as he's also going to filter out DRS for the Invicta of Stanek. Vachon, though, is ahead. He is in front as we navigate our way through a really, really interesting feature race this is turning into, as Luke Browning in P10 currently sets the fastest lap.
I'm not at all surprised to see Rodin react to Invicta to bring Dunn in at the end of this lap. Will they actually do that? I think they are at the target lap as to when they wanted to go onto the hard compound from the softs. We are on board with Dunn now. Does he actually decide to come in, or if the team told him to stay out for another lap? We'll find out in a moment. No, it's in as he was instructed.
So, into the pit lane comes Ireland's Alex Dunn as he gets ready to make a pit stop then, and we're going to now see him get into his grid, get into his pit box and change the tyres and back out into the fast lane.
Nicely done. Very good work there from Alex Dunn's crew on his way. The Road Motorsports team doing a fine job. Crawford and Megatunif are in as well, which will allow Arvid Lindblad to take over the lead for now. He was one of those that came in earlier on, so this is effectively the race lead for Lindblad, but he'll be on older tyres compared to what the likes of Dunn, Fornaroli, and all of that have done.
So Lindblad hits the front then, as we do see the pit stops. Okay, this is critical now. Victor Martins is going to have the tyres warmed up. Alex Dunn is going to still maintain that net position. So Alex Dunn is in the net race lead. Victor Martin is of course able to bolt himself a bit forward with the undercut that he was able to get. This is going to be tight as they all rejoin, and it's going to be super close in this battle as Goethe is ahead. Megatunov trying to make the move on Sebastian Montoya as well as he gets the power down towards turn number 4. DRS belongs to Seb Montoya. Can he try and retake that position? All the while Villagomez is waiting for the opportunity. That will be way too deep, surely coming in for Megatunov. Montoya will get by, and it could open the door as well for Rafael Villagomez into Van Amersfoort, darting left, darting right, seeing where the opportunity is, and he is going to go for it around the outside, and that becomes the inside for the next corner. Villagomez moves up as well.
Yeah, and he was always going to lose out, was Megatunov, unfortunately, with Villagomez being on warmer tyres, but it'll come back to Megatunov later on when he's on more grippy rubber. There we see Alex Dunn, who's only just been in the pits for tyres. He's ahead of Martin, but for how long? Because Martin's tyres will be a lot more up to temperature to where Dunn's is at. He is on his first lap, is done on his new hard compound. So Martin should have the advantage. If he's going to make the move, he's got to do it now.
He has got to do it now. This is where Alex Dunn will not have all of the tyres up to temperature. This is the best opportunity that Victor Martins has. It gets harder with every lap that we go along. It's right at 9/10 of a second. He'll need to be much more closer than that for the French driver, trying to close in as we see further back quite a bit of slipstreaming going on for Marty as Amory Cordial dives it into the pit lane. So does Lindblad, meaning the net lead becomes the official lead on the circuit as Lindblad and Cordial come into the pit lane.
Yep. The Lindblad is in, Cordial is in for Rodeo Motorsport. He hadn't stopped yet in this race either, so both of them will fall to the back of the field. Now we've got a race on our hands involving Dunn, Martin and Fornarelli. Fornarelli got jumped in the stops by Martin for pitting in later, but we will see an overtake from Luke Browning on the inside of Pepe Marti, which is very nicely done there by the young Brit who's going after his first win in this series. Is he going to be able to achieve it this afternoon? We've got a penalty for Sebastian Montoya. That's for speeding in the pit lane, which is not good. It's been a really tough weekend, it has to be said, for the Colombian. But he's going to have to make the most of it now and try and build as much of a gap to see if he does come away with any points.
Absolutely. And we now find ourselves in a situation where we have Luke Browning, of course, a former winner from, last year's winner in Macau as well. And he's a driver who was in contention. Okay, so we momentarily had a little issue, but we should be back with you now. I'm just going to quickly rejoin our Discord call, and then we're going to be able now to see it all play out there on the circuit. With things momentarily glitching, we'll go to battle screen for the moment, and we'll load up timing 71 so you can get that bit of information at this stage as everything goes out on the circuit. Okay, it looks like... Okay, hello Tom, are you able to hear me? Doesn't look like that's the case. Right, okay, we're going to go to the battle screen quickly, and hopefully everything will be sorted as well as we try and navigate our way. I'm unable to hear the Discord call at the moment as we just try to get the battle screen loaded for you all as well, which is right now having a couple of issues. We're having a very interesting race out there on the circuit. We're just going to try and get everything fixed for you at the moment in time. And there we go. You should have the battle screen on the screen right now for the moment. Just a couple of technical issues going on for us up here in the commentary box. And we're just going to try and get that sorted as we try and navigate our way through. But it's really an interesting Formula 2 feature race that is definitely going the distance. And it's definitely a Formula 2 feature race which Alex Dunn looks like he is set to win. But in typical Formula 2 fashion, we have seen late twists in this championship before. And we'll be hoping for more of the same here today as well. So let's wait and see what this race is going to deliver. I'm just trying to connect to the Discord call as all of the battles go on. We've right now got a brilliant battle going on between Bennett and Dirksen as they try and battle their way through. And you've got the timing board right now live. Timing 71 is available on the screen. We apologize for the couple of technical issues that we are having up here in the commentary box. I'm unable to hear the Discord call at the moment, but we look to hopefully have that sorted in a couple of moments time as well. And yes, definitely not what we wanted, as we wanted to be able to bring you this Formula 2 race with absolutely no issues or problems at all. But there's always going to be some form of issues on a weekend that has gone absolutely perfectly. And I'm just going to try and see what we can do to get us back in. But I'm going to keep you updated on all of the battles, all of the action that is going on out there on the circuit. As let's see whether I can get myself back in the Discord call in the way that I need to. I might need to possibly join on the Discord app as it's all glitching quite a bit at the moment. So let's have a go at doing that to see whether I will be able to hear the crew up there in the commentary box as well. Hello Tom, can you hear me? So we're currently unable to hear the team in the commentary box due to a couple of technical issues that we are having, but the race is going on at the moment. So I'm just going to try and get this sorted to see what the issue is and why are we unable to hear Tom and everyone up there. But we're going to try and bring you this race as much as we can. And Alex Dunn saying on the radio, we know Browning's pace is strong, as is ours, and they're going to try use the advantage of the good tire to build a gap and be able to hang on all the way when we get to the checkered flag. But Luke Browning is the one to watch. So just a couple of issues going on in terms of I can't hear the guys up there in the commentary box that we're going to try and get fixed as soon as possible. So I'm just going to make sure that I server mute the world feed audio that is currently taking place, and we're gonna try and get this fully fixed for you. In the meantime, though, we've got Dirksen trying to get past John Bennett, and John Bennett will be sliding out just a little bit wider, and Dirksen is going to have to slot in directly in behind at this moment. I'm just trying to take a look and see whether the stream is all good, and it looks like that is the case. So at least we're able to keep you guys updated with what is going on out there on the circuit at this moment in time. I'm going to once again try and rejoin, but it looks like we've lost full connection with the guys in the booth. I cannot hear them for some reason. We've tried the web version and we tried also the Discord app, and both of them do not seem to be allowing us to hear the team up there in the booth as well of Owl and Tom. But Luke Browning about to go on the charge. He's going to try and get past Victor Martins as we make our way towards the final corner on this circuit. And let's see whether he'll be able to do it. Out of turn 14, out of turn number 15, and onto the start-finish straight we go. Luke Browning is the driver to watch on the charge, trying to win his maiden victory in Formula 2. He wants second place away from his fellow Williams Academy member, and it's going to be Luke Browning who moves through into second place. That is one cleared, one to go, who is denying him the top step. That is Alex Dunn at the moment. And we're going to currently find ourselves. We're just waiting to see whether Dirksen can make the move, but we're doing absolutely everything we can to see whether we can get back with the guys in the booth. We just needed to cover that little battle that was going on, but Discord just having a couple of issues, which is really affecting us. The team can still hear me, but unfortunately I'm not able to hear them. That is what is affecting us at this stage. So Dunn, Martins, Browning, Fornaroli and Pepe Marti is the order at the moment that the drivers run in on lap number 23 out of 32. We have 17 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock to go as well. It's 60 minutes or 32 laps, whichever one comes first. We've not had a safety car interruption in this race, and we're just looking to try and get all the way to the checkered flag without anything else going wrong. And I'm going to just quickly see if we can now hopefully connect up in the booth. Unsure what the issue is because I'm unable to hear all of them in the commentary box at the moment. So let's see whether we can try and hear Tom. So Tom, can you hear us? It doesn't look like Tom can hear us at the moment. So a major issue's gone wrong when it comes to our Discord. Well, we had a great weekend. We had a great weekend up until that moment where it's all unfortunately gone downwards. And I'm going to see, and I'm going to quickly see whether we're going to be able to connect back in. Unfortunately, Discord is unable to detect anything from my microphone going on at the moment, but I'm happy we're still able to bring you commentary of this race, and we're going to try and continue to do so while this issue goes on. We find ourselves with Roman Stanek trying to go on the defensive. John Bennett trying to go on the attack. Bennett's going to send it all the way around the outside into turn number 1. Is he going to be able to make this move? He will. And that will be the position gained as we see the Invicta now try and turn his attention to Joshua Dirksen, who's going to pull out of the slipstream as well. And Dirksen's going to try and make this move. He's being squeezed by Bennett. We're very nearly 3 wide. Dirksen tries to go to the inside as well. Bennett around the outside. It is going to be really close between all 4 of these drivers in this train. And as we do battle down towards the next corner, Dirksen might lose out, and it's going to be the opportunity to the inside. Oh my word, that was very nearly contact as Bennett has to get out of it. And around the outside, attempting to make the move, is going to be Oliver Goethe. Oliver Goethe trying to get in the mix. Can he get ahead? Can he get to the inside of turn number 10? That's the corner that we're heading to, and that is the corner where the switch happens. And wow, those were a couple of amazing corners out there on the circuit as the battles raged on. As we go back and hopefully now join the team up there in the commentary box as they navigate their way through. Tom, are you able to hear us now? So it looks like we're still unable to hear Tom and everyone in the booth, unfortunately. I'm just thinking if I can maybe Jack might need to miss out as well, unless actually we can create we can try and create an Instagram group chat. We could possibly call in that just to get at least some audio going as well. So Tom, if you're able to quickly go on phone and get us a little group chat created, we'll work on that. Until then, I'll try and bring you this race, which it's a race which Luke Browning is trying his best to close in on Alex Dunn as we make our way down towards the first corner, and it's going to be super tight between Goethe trying to get past Roman Stanek. It's going to be a move into the braking zone. Stanek gets ahead. Oh, that's very nearly contact between Goethe and John Bennett. Bennett arriving late on the brakes into the first turn. Lindblad gets ahead of Rafael Villagomez. We make our way now down towards the 4th turn on this circuit. And it's going to be a full turn on the circuit, which Bennett still has to sit in behind as well. Jack would have to join on phone, he's just saying in the chat, if we were to switch to that. But anything to be able to hear them, as well for these final laps where there is a couple of technical issues going on, which we do need to get sorted for you as well. So it's really unfortunate what is taking place, but luckily we were able to remain trouble-free for most of the weekend as we see them get closer and closer still. And I'm also going to check my phone to make sure we know when that group chat has been created, and we'll try and call and talk in that. So I'm going to leave the Discord in this. I'm going to go back over to it in my browser. Well, you're getting commentary on all of the information that you do not require. As we take a look at some replays as well, I'm going to try and get myself to the Instagram call, and then we're hopefully going to be able to bring you commentary coming in from Tom Kens. So let's see whether that is going to happen now as we try and see whether this group chat works. We're going to allow the microphone to come in and work, and hopefully we should be able to hear the team up there in the commentary box. Tom, can you hear us? Looks like that's a no. So I don't think Tom Kent is able to hear us. So it's not going any better on Instagram, is it? So it looks like some settings have definitely messed up. We'll see what happens though as we make our way all the way through to the end of this race, as that's going to be the defensive shape from Gertha. Bennett trying to do the up and under, trying to get the switch back as we go side by side, possibly towards the end of this first sector. And look at this battle, 4 cars all in it in this thrilling fight that currently goes on. And now here's the chance around the outside. Arvid Lindblad wants to get involved as well. A hot prospect when it comes to this championship, and he is a driver who was said by many to be fighting for the championship this year. It's not been the start to the season that he would have wanted at all. Unfortunately, it really doesn't look like the Instagram is working either. I can check my settings to see what is going on in terms of everything, as there is the 2 Red Bull Juniors side by side. You've got Gertha up against Lindblad. Lindblad trying to get the power down. Lindblad's going to get ahead, and he gets past Oliver Gertha, and that will be move complete. And of course the Red Bull Juniors always have a little battle amongst themselves as we try and see whether everything is going to work. So, Tom, are you able to hear us? Doesn't look like it at this stage. Fornaroli is trying to go for the final spot on the podium. We'll try and catch up with the team then after the race. It doesn't look like it's going to work during the race, unfortunately, which is quite annoying as we were trying to bring you updates and thoughts from those guys as well. But yes, we've had an amazing weekend, but unfortunately it's gone a little downhill near the end. But we're still bringing you all the way to the checkered flag, and still bringing you all of the information and updates that you need from this Formula 2 race that is taking place. It's a dramatic Formula 2 race as well. We're on lap number 27 of the contest. I'm just going to quickly refresh to make sure that updates. And yes, it's been definitely a very, very dramatic race that has taken place for us in FIA Formula 2 at the moment. It's Alex Dunn who is leading the contest. We are ticking down. We have 10 minutes on the clock to go. We're on lap number 27 as Dunn is 6.7 seconds ahead of Luke Browning. Victor Martins is in third, and then it's Fornaroli who's trying to take the final spot on the podium away from him as Stanek. We take a look at a replay of his battles with Gertha, with Lindblad, and this was all the way down into the first corner on this racetrack, and it was move complete, job done. And he was able to get ahead. The Red Bull Junior of Gertha was able to get ahead. Then Lindblad also followed through as well. So, we are taking a look at Leonardo Fornaroli. The last corner is very strong, so use it, is the instruction that he's given as he goes hunting. And he goes hunting to try and get himself into third position. The DRS opens for Leonardo Fornaroli as he goes on the attack. Can he make this move then as we head down into turn number 1? He's going to go tight to the inside line. Martins will try and give him the squeeze. He'll try fight this one up the hill to turn number 4. But Leonardo Fornaroli, the reigning Formula 3 champion, moves up to third position. He has gone hunting all the way through. But now he knows that Martins is going to want it back immediately. And there's going to be a defensive shape thrown around the outside as Fornaroli is going to try and squeeze him to the outside line. Martins though will try and get the cut back. It'll be the power down between these two drivers heading into 5, 6 and 7 in terms of turns. And it's going to be Fornaroli who's ahead. Nothing Victor Martins could do to fight back. He gave it his all, but there wasn't anything left as he has to settle for 4th. And he's got Marty behind, who will surely want to get by as well. We're on lap number 28 out of 32. We apologize for the technical issues that we have faced at the end of this Formula 2 feature race. But I'm happy that we're still able to bring you commentary as well, and still able to bring you all of the updates and what has been a very dramatic weekend for Formula 2, and it's exactly what we needed after what happened in Australia. It was exactly what we wanted, and it is great to see how this weekend has played out. We go through the braking zone, and it's going to be definitely quite the moment coming in for the Red Bull Junior of Marty trying to get past Victor Martins, arriving at the final corner around this circuit. And we go on to the start-finish straight then. And it's the start-finish straight. Pepe Marti has the chance. Pepe Marti has the run. Let's see whether he can take fourth position away. He will do so into the braking zone. Can Victor Martins do anything to fight back? It's going to be super tight, but it's going to be Marty who will get in there. I was just wanted to check on my phone to make sure that my audio at least was coming through and you're able to hear what's going on. But yes, I really do feel bad for Tom and Jack, who are not able to be with us at this stage. But we'll try and bring their thoughts later on, and I'll just try to take you all the way to the checkered flag in this one. And then hopefully we'll get things sorted, because we'll need it to hear how the ending of the race goes as well. Dunn, Browning and Fornaroli, it's all starting to settle in a little bit more. So I'm just gonna try see if there's anything I can do in terms of settings. Has anything messed up? And what can we do to try and hear from the team and bring you the end of this race? So this is how Joshua Dirksen lost out to Arvid Lindblad, who's the driver now in 9th, due to the move that he had at turn number 1. If you are synced up with us with your TV pictures, Ritomo Miato is up against Sebastian Montoya, and Cordial is trying to put the pressure on as well. He is up against Bennett, and Miato's going to drop down. It's going to be Miato's actually going to be able to gain the position. Montoya drops down, and then it's going to be Cordial, who is just going to be ahead of John Bennett. And yes, I'm just going to check the sound settings in terms of what is going on, and I'll make sure that I turn my mic all the way up. But yes, it looks like our speakers are having a little bit of issue in terms of the sound that is going through them right now. So something has definitely gone wrong, which we'll have to try and sort out in order to be able to hear from all of the drivers and the teams that go with it at the end of this race, along with our own team here at JB Motorsports, who've all done an absolutely fantastic job covering this as well. The Instagram call definitely doesn't seem like it's working, so I'm just going to leave that so my microphone can stop glitching around, so we can get it back to normal volume for you guys as well on the stream. Down the straight we go, and here's the chance now. Here is the opportunity. Down the straight, coming our way in a couple of moments. That's late in the brakes. First of all, higher up the road, you've got Stanek ahead of Villagomez, and the battle that we were trying to also bring you at the same time was further down between Bennett and Crawford. Villagomez is ahead of Roman Stanek, and Roman Stanek is the driver who is in his 3rd season of FIA Formula 2. We only have a couple more laps to go in this Formula 2 race. We take a look on board with Ritomo Miata, and Ritomo Miata going side by side all the way down through to turn number 5, and Montoya keeping his foot in. Miata all over the road, and he was able then to get his power down a couple of meters later and definitely try and attack. But that was really an interesting part of the race between these two drivers as well. Montoya running a different livery for this weekend. Richard Rashaw is really closing in. He's absolutely hammering the gap down to the Frenchman Victor Martins. He's bringing Dino Beganovic as well for company as well. Marty is 1.1 second away from getting a final podium spot. We are on the penultimate lap of this contest, the penultimate lap of this race, and it's a penultimate lap which Alex Dunn will just be trying to bring it home to the checkered flag. We make our way down towards the first corner then, and it's going to be Luke Browning who's going to find himself 7.6 seconds away. He didn't have the pace at the end to close in Dunn was told that he just had to bring the gap up. Dunn did bring the gap up. As Beganovic, can he also force a move on Vishal, the highly experienced Dutch driver, heading down into the braking zone of turn number 4. Cordial is ahead of Ritomo Miata. That is for 15th, and that is for 16th position. Fornaroli versus Marti is going to be an interesting last lap fight. Martins versus Vishal versus Beganovic is going to be an interesting battle for P5. Once again, we apologise for all of the technical issues that everyone has been facing. It's just been one of those weekends. It really just has been one of those weekends. But I'm going to hope that we're going to be able to hear from the team to end this. And Alex Dunn just bringing it home and bringing it all the way to the flag. We'll see him when he comes across the line. But we've got plenty of racing, plenty of battling to end this Formula 2 feature race, with Ferrari Academy driver Dino Beganovic trying to move up to 5th. And you've got Vishal in 6th position as well. Alex Dunn is our race leader by 7.6 seconds. You don't usually see margins that high in Formula 2. He's on to the last lap, the 32nd and final tour. That is the lap that Alex Dunn is currently on. Can Leonardo Fornaroli defend, or will it be Pepe Marti to make the move? Leonardo Fornaroli is breaking the slipstream. Pepe Marti's got DRS, our winner from yesterday, going for the final spot on the podium. He was on the podium in both races 1 year ago. Pepe Marti is going to try go all the way around the outside of Leonardo Fornaroli, who defends hard into turn number 1. He's going to have to provide more of that now in towards turn number 4 with DRS open. The Red Bull Junior goes hunting. Can he get ahead of Leonardo Fornaroli, who defends tight to the inside line as he comes over to defend even harder to Pepe Marti, who's sending it around the outside. He won't have the grip to get through, and it's going to be all over the curve for him. Fornaroli hangs on to the position. Martins will be in 5th. Vishal's still in 6th. Beganovic is still in 7th. They're all still in order as they make their way through. Does Pepe Marti go for it? He's thinking about it. Incredible stuff. Pepe Marti trying to get 4 out of 4 in terms of podiums in Formula 2 around this circuit. He's still in close proximity. He's having a look. He's going round the outside into turn number 10. He'll try to settle the move. We are going to have one last opportunity down into turn number 11 for the Spanish driver trying to get ahead of the reigning Formula 3 champion who defends to the inside. Can Pepe Marti go the long way round? Fornaroli chops across. He is not leaving any space at all for Pepe Marti to get an invitation. Marti will continue to get close. Is he risking it into turn number 12? He definitely had to think about it. He won't be able to do it. And it's going to be Pepe Marti. One more corner to go after this. What a performance from Alex Dunn. For the first time in Formula 2, Alex Dunn wins. He takes Ireland to the top step of the podium for the first time in the category. What a moment it is for Ireland and Dunn. Browning's in 2nd. Leonardo Fornaroli hangs on somehow to 3rd position. Pepe Marti gave it his all at the end. He'll be in 3rd, and then it'll be Marti in 4th. Martins will get 5th. He hanged on somehow as well, ahead of Vishal, then Beganovic, and after driving that was penalised twice, after questions asked about Alex Dunn yesterday, today it was perfectly executed from him, and it's taken him to a first victory in Formula 2 and a first victory on a Formula 1 weekend as well, after getting 2 podiums 1 year ago in FIA Formula 3. Now it's the top step in only his his 3rd Formula 2 race, in fact, due to the feature race that we didn't have in Australia. Well, the celebrations can begin. He has done it, and he has won it, as we now have to try our absolute best to be able to get our systems working so we can enjoy and hear from absolutely everyone after that type of race. That is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal stuff. All the way to the end. I'm just going to try and make sure that we can get our Discord working, and so we can then hear from our contenders as well. So we're trying our absolute best. Luke Browning on the radio as well. And I'm gonna quickly just put the microphone on mute so I don't deafen you guys. And I'm gonna try and play a little trick. Of course, we don't have world feed audio either at this stage due to some of the technical issues. Okay, so we've had a little change of microphone. We're going to try to do the same so we can get some audio going. Need to head over to settings just to make sure the audio is all okay. And then I might need to just quickly go to the correct audio. I believe we should be able to hear the team now. We've had to switch our systems for just a moment, but hopefully we should be able to hear our team. Tom, can you hear us? Doesn't look like Tom is able to hear us. Oh, well, that's disappointing. It would have been really nice. Tom, can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, okay, we've managed to get it working. A couple of changes, but I wasn't going to go off air without hearing from yourself and also without hearing from Alex Stern. What a race that was, and what was your thoughts of those last few laps?
It was intense between Fornaroli and Martin, but very, very happy for Alex Dunn, making up for the mistakes he made yesterday and the aggressive battling he was having with some of the drivers. But today has been a different story, and what a moment it is for him, for the team of Rodin, and for the Republic of Ireland. They have a race winner in this championship, and I'm sure he'll have done everyone very, very proud. It's quite a poignant moment, actually, considering a few weeks ago we lost the beloved Eddie Jordan as well, the man who put together his burgeoning team, not just in Formula 1, but also in the feeder series that was known as International Formula 3000 at the time. And I'm sure he'll dedicate this win to him, because I'm sure that have meant the world to both him and to his family who have been watching. But what a race from Dunn. Not only did he just win, he absolutely smashed it.
And that's the important thing as well. But yes, those technical issues really, really annoying at the end. But we at least were able to get you guys back on at the end. Jack, what did you make of it then? Those last few laps, and what a moment it is for Alex Stern, as Tom mentioned.
There's part of me that hates it when they cut to the leader crossing the line during an amazing battle, but part of me that gets it. That said, what a brilliant drive from a driver who I honestly did not expect to win this year, Alex Dunn. Absolutely brilliant from the McLaren Junior. What a dominant drive, and a brilliant win against the reigning Formula 3 champion. Let's get to the post-race interviews then.
Absolutely, let's do so. Davide Valsecchi back on a Formula 2 broadcast, and he is speaking with Alex Stern.
Alex, huge performance, your first victory in Formula 2. What does it mean, this type of race for you, this type of victory?
Yeah, I have no words, to be honest. I think I knew coming into the weekend the pace was strong. All the race runs we did in testing were generally quite positive. Of course, maybe I didn't expect this. I knew the pace was there to do something good, but maybe not this good. But no, I think after yesterday, to be honest, I was a bit disappointed after yesterday. I wasn't really happy with the job I did. So I think today I kind of redeemed myself and bounced back really well.
Impressive your race pace at the end of the race. Impressive at the beginning when you attack for the leadership. What do you think? It can be your season, this one?
It's too early to say. Of course, not only I think I did a great job, but of course, Rodin also won here last year, so it proves that they have a really good car. So I think, it's not only down to me. They've massively helped me as well. But I think if we can continue the form, I feel like I'm driving at a good level at the minute. And if I can continue at that, then I don't see why we'll be contenders.
Well done. Congratulations.
There's a lot of excitement.
Oh, great stuff. Alex Stern on the top step. And that's the critical thing, Tom. He was able to correct the mistakes that he had yesterday into today. And today it was absolutely pitch perfect from Alex Stern. And it's great to see him getting that moment after getting very close last year in Formula 3 to those moments. He was only able to get 2 podiums. He's going to start only his second weekend in FIA Formula 2 with a feature race win to leave it, and that will be a big confidence boost heading into Saudi Arabia next week.
I should think so. They haven't got long to wait either, so if Alex Dunn can continue that level of spirit into next weekend, there's every chance we're going to see him come away with a strong result there. And look at what it means to him and his family as we see the 3 cars in Parc Fermé. We'll be going to the cool-down room in a moment and get a word from the top 3 if we do manage to get one. But there is Tom Stellard, Oscar Piastri's race engineer, watching on. He'll be watching his driver see if he can pull it off in the race later from pole position. So do stay tuned to JB Motorsports on the YouTube channel to tune into the watch along. And yeah, what a race we're going to be in for later. Hopefully we'll get a decent Grand Prix with the mixture of strategies. But yeah, a great race we've watched in Formula 2. Not as chaotic as yesterday, but Alex Dunn won't be complaining. He'll be happy to get his first win on a Formula 1 race weekend under his belt. But we're going straight to the podium now to see Leonardo Fornaroli heading out onto the 3rd place podium, followed by Luke Browning and today's race winner, Alex Dunn.
Fornaroli really had to work for it. It was quite a great job that he was able to pull off. He really had to work for that one all the way at the end. Really hyper on the defensive, right on the brink, right on the limit. Browning ends in 2nd, but Ireland have a winner for the first time in Formula 2, thanks to Alex Dunn, and we will hear his national anthem.
Podium at Bahrain. Great.
What a moment. What a moment for Alex Dunn. It was great to see him looking to the flag when it first came on, pointing to it as well. He knows what it means to his nation. And after all of the talk about Dirksen also carrying the hopes of a nation, that's exactly what Alex Dunn is also doing as well. You're going to get the team of Rodin Motorsport that will also be able to get a trophy once again at Bahrain International. They were able to get 2 last year with Zane Maloney doing the double. And they're a winner this year once again. Luke Browning with a good 2nd place there. And on the podium once again. Same applies to Leonardo Fornaroli, who's in 3rd. And that will be a podium that he will be delighted with, considering the defensive drive he had to go on that last lap. And we're going to get ready for the celebrations to begin. For FIA Formula 2, Alex Dunn will be delighted. And he, you can see, is really going for it with the celebrations, as are the 2 drivers alongside. It's a happy podium. It's a great podium. And what a moment this is for Alex Dunn to be able to get onto that victory for the first time on an F1 weekend as well. Final thoughts, Jack?
Yeah, solid race again. Alex Dunn surprises me with how quick he was today. I thought it would take him a lot longer to get used to these Formula 2 cars, especially since he wasn't remarkable in Formula 3. I think he only took like 1 or 2 podiums. But no, brilliant win. And also, I assume the entire country of Ireland are going to be celebrating tonight with that victory. But yeah, great result for him. Great result, and another great product there, the McLaren Junior Academy, getting a win.
Absolutely. I'll get Tom's final thoughts in a second. I'll quickly run through the results. Alex Dunn was the winner, getting his first victory in Formula 2. Luke Browning and Fornaroli getting another podium in 2nd and 3rd. Pepe Marti was 4th, he just missed out at the end. Martins hanged on against the rapid Rashawn and Beganovic at the end. They finished 5th, 6th and 7th. And then it's Arvid Lindblad who ended in 8th, Mini in 9th, and Joshua Dirksen finished in 10th position. Goethe was in 11th, Villa Gomez was in 12th, and then it was Cordial, Miata, Megatunev, Crawford, Stanek, Maney, Montoya, Bennett, Esterson, and Shield. Everyone finished the 32 laps that we ran around Bahrain International for our feature race. A very good race, Tom, as you mentioned, not as dramatic as yesterday, but quite a good race. What's your final thoughts on how has your first weekend been doing Formula 2?
It was nice, thank you very much. It's a shame we had the technical issues during the feature race, but overall, fantastic experience for me. And the next time you'll be hearing from me for Formula 2 will be during Imola, as I'll be back in Biggin Hill for Jeddah next weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. And that weekend we'll also we'll also be looking forward to hearing from you, hopefully on the Porsche Super Cup as well. That will be starting their season. Well, thank you very much to everyone who has joined us. We have reached race 200 in FIA Formula 2. It's time now to enjoy watching all of these stars continuing to show their class. And luckily, we don't have too long to wait, because in a week's time, we head to the Jeddah Corniche circuit when Formula 2 runs their practice and qualifying on the Friday, the sprint on Saturday, and the feature race on Sunday. We'll see you then. Thank you very much for joining us, and goodbye.